go check out the YouTube. Consider being a YouTube member, because I'm going to be dropping the full episode, but it's only going to be accessible to YouTube members and those that are on the Patreon. So you can check in the video in the description of the video. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, think about subscribing, help your boy out, man. Show your boy some love. You appreciate the episodes and stuff like that. Also hit us up on the email engineearstothestreetz@gmail.com with all your comments, and we'll definitely address those in the next episode. I'll be happy to, man. All your critiques, things that you agree with, things that you disagree with. Yeah, so let's go right now, man. 6 degrees between us. We talk about we ended it with the very messy situation abroad in Spain with the world competition. So we're going to continue on with the world competition, man. One time for Team USA, man. The men and women in the world championships for track and field. You know, they complete a sweep in the 4x100, man, led by none other than Sha'Carri Richardson. You know what she be doing. She be going crazy. And this gentleman right here, man, our guy, Noah Lyles, man. Noah Lyles, man. He went crazy, man. You know, they held down the gold medals. And, yeah, he's been going wild. He had multiple gold medals as well, obviously. But, you know, with success, controversy is not too far behind. Controversy is not too far behind. And while he was, you know, he was going crazy, man. While he was going off talking about, you know, his winnings and stuff like that, and you know, stuff that he deserves the spotlight. You know, get off your opinion. This is your time to shine. So talk about whatever you want to talk about. But he complained about, you know, I'm paraphrasing. He complained that the NBA champions, you know, when they win the championship, they call themselves world champs, or they call the NBA championship a world title. He said he has an issue with this. He says the USA is not the world. A national title should be just that, a national title. And, you know, we got this guy right here, Stephen A. Smith. You see his picture. He caught wind of it, along with some other NBA players and stuff like that. They caught wind of it, and, you know, they disagreed emphatically, as they should. But I think right off the gate, man, there's going to be an open discussion about it. But what I don't like, and now I've heard that he has since apologized, but Stephen A. Smith called him ignorant, man, flagrantly ignorant, if I could quote him. And I just think, man, ignorant, that's a very strong word, man. You know, it means that somebody is lower than dumb. You know, like you're just oblivious of any type of sense or logic. You know, and I think before we call somebody ignorant, you know, I made my mistakes. I talk a lot of trash, especially when I'm gaming. Y'all check me out when I'm gaming. I talk a lot of trash. But when you're speaking about adults, articulate adults, that Noah Lyles is, sometimes you got to take a step back and think about our rebuttal instead of being impulsive with it, especially when it comes to black folks, man, our black folks, man, because, you know, ignorance, there's a lot of words that mean essentially ignorant, you know, that, you know, and there's a lot of more demeaning words that come from ignorance. So like when we call other people ignorant, we want to make sure that we are in fact correct of bestowing such a judgment. And like I said, since then he apologized, but we could disagree without, you know, calling somebody ignorant. I don't think Noah Lyles' comments are ignorant. However, I disagree. I agree and I disagree. So I'm going to tell you the parts that I agree with him. Of course, the literal sense of the word, world champions. You're not the world champions because it's not a world competition. So of course he's correct. So just off of that alone, you cannot call the man ignorant. But like I said, I'm just speaking on, I'm going to be devil's advocate and play both sides. So I agree with him. You know, I always think that too. It's like world champions. Like, bro, this is a national competition. You know, like look at the soccer leagues. Those are national competitions. They call themselves the Premier League champions or whatever it is. You know, so whatever other competition it is, you know, you're the champion of even Wimbledon when it's just Wimbledon or whatever, you know, whatever the competition is, especially if it's a national championship. However, now this is where the debate comes in, right? So let's play the other side. He is wrong in the sense of the figurative meaning of it. So in the NBA, even more so than the Premier League, even more so than any other league, the NBA for basketball is it has a monopoly on being the sole dominant league and the premier spot for those athletes and competitors of that specific sport. So when you think about that, let's think. We have LeBron James, of course. You have Michael Jordan. You have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain. All these gentlemen are from America, right? United States of America, right? But then if you think about it, Giannis Antetokounmpo, where he come from? You know he's from Africa, but you know he come from Greece. I believe he's Nigerian, Nigeria specifically, but you know he comes from Greece, right? Then you got Jokic, who's Serbian, I believe. Then you got you know, you got Luka Doncic, who's where the heck he from again? Latvia? I don't remember where he's from, but you know what I'm talking about. So, and then you got Tony Parker, who's from France. Yes, but then you think you got Larry Bird from the United States. You got Steph from the United States. But where do where do all of them meet? They meet in the NBA, which is in the US of A. So when you say that they're the world champions, it's because it's inclusive of international talent. And where there's not one person, no matter where you go, since basketball is birthed in the United States, no matter where you go, their goal and their highest achievement, the pinnacle of their competition and their goals, if they play basketball, is to be in the NBA. So that's why you can kind of see why they call it the world champs, even though I do think from a literal meaning it is wrong. Figuratively, I could see why they think that. I don't think they should call it the world title, to be honest. But that's why these NBA players took exception to him thinking that, because you cannot tell me that if you win the championship in the NBA, that any other team outside of the US is beating that NBA championship team. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just not happening. Now, and to be fair, he has Greg, you know, we love Greg Popovich around here, you know. Greg Popovich also said a similar thing some years ago. You know, he's been quoted as saying that, yeah, they shouldn't be considered NBA champions shouldn't be considered the world champions, because it's not accurate, you know what I'm saying? However, from a talent standpoint, it's very accurate. Nobody in the world is gonna beat an NBA team, an NBA championship team. So I'm gonna give you an example why Noah Lyles is from a literal standpoint he's correct, but from an overall standpoint, in my opinion, he's incorrect. Because let's think about the great championship teams, right? Let's think about the Bulls, 72-10, or let's think about the Golden State Warriors, 73-9. You know, the Bulls had, let's think about the Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman led Bulls, and the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green led Golden State Warriors. Let's be honest now. Those teams, I don't care what you say. If I take, when they win the championship, or when the Golden State Warriors win the championship, when the Bulls win the championship, when the Golden State Warriors win the championship, no national team is beating them. None. 99% of the national teams, whether you talk about from Nigeria, whether you talk about from Brazil, whether you talk about from Russia, no national team is beating them. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And the only reason why I don't say 100%, I said 99%, because the only team that can get their stars together and beat them is from where? The United States. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like honestly, though, think about what I'm saying. I want you to listen very closely. The only if the Bulls win the NBA championship, I don't care if you get every best team from Nigeria, get all the best players from Nigeria, get all the best players from Australia, get all the best players from Ethiopia, all one team. I'm talking about the best players in Ethiopia. You bring the Ethiopian national team, you bring the Nigerian national team, the Australian national team, the national team from Greece. They're not beating the Bulls, and they're not beating Golden State. But you know who will beat them? The other All-Stars. If I take all the best players from the U.S., the Bulls and the Warriors don't have a chance. So let's think about it. So I'm gonna break it down. So let's say Jordan is the best player ever. So I think he gonna find a way to win. But let's just for this argument, if I take Jordan, Rodman, and the Pippen-led Bulls, and I put them against the best players all together from the United States of America. So that means we're getting Charles Barkley on one team. That means we're getting Patrick Ewing on one team, David Robinson on one team. Let's think who else. There's so many other players. John Stockton on one team. Karl Malone on one team. The Bulls aren't beating them. So what, you understand what I'm saying? So let's go with the even with Klay. Let's think about Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green led Warriors. If I put LeBron James, if I put Kawhi Leonard, if I put Devin Booker, if I put Damian Lillard, you know what I'm saying? If I put Giannis Antetokounmpo on a team, they're smashing the Golden State Warriors. If you think about it, that's our national team. So you put our national team against that one team, we'll destroy them. I mean, well, they'll destroy them. But if I take the best players from Greece, they just gonna have the Antetokounmpo brothers going against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors gonna smack them. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I think Noah Lyles kind of messes up, because I think the best team in the NBA honestly, I do. I think the best team in the NBA could possibly win a FIBA Basketball World Championship. Let's say I take the Golden State Warriors as they're collected and put them in the FIBA tournament. I think they win. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think I'm tripping. So that's why I think he's kind of wrong, because it is inclusive of, the NBA is inclusive of a lot of international players and the best players. So I think from figurative standpoint, they are the world champions. But from a literal technical standpoint, I think that title is wrong, and he is correct from that angle, that they should not be called the world champions. And I agree with that. They should not be called the NBA champions. But from a talent standpoint, let's not act like, they're not the best basketball team in the world. So that's where I stand on that, man. I feel like the only team that can come together as a national team that will beat the NBA's best team is a team comprised of all-stars from America. I think the all-stars of Brazil would not beat the Golden State Warriors or the Bulls or whoever just won the last basketball championship. You know what I'm saying? The last NBA championship. I just don't think so, man. Denver Nuggets. I think Denver Nuggets would beat. Yeah, that's just how I feel, man. I could be wrong. You let me know what y'all think, man. And yeah, I just really do. I really find it hard to believe, man. But yeah, so yeah, man, that's how I feel. Y'all let me know. I know I'm gonna get a lot of blowback from that, but so I think Noah Lyles is right, and I think he's wrong at the same time. But you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on that. You know what I'm talking about? From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.